Hi guys, welcome to Volt Sports. Arsenal played at a 1-1 draw with Brighton. Havertz scored the first goal with a beautiful goal. It was a beautiful goal in the first half. But when the second half started, Rice did, I don't understand what he did. He got the second yellow card and he was given a red matching orders. He left the field and Arsenal had to play the whole second half with 10 men. Now, that is when Brighton equalized and the game ended 1-1. Okay guys, if you look at that game, the first half was pretty flat, but second half he came alive. But Arsenal scoring that first goal, that beautiful goal for Havertz, it was a chip after Saka gave him that assist. How do you make of this game in general, John? Because if you look at Arsenal, if you look at the lineup and the bench, nobody was there in the bench because they sold Nketiah, Nelson, a whole lot of players, and they couldn't register Sterling and other players that's supposed to be in the squad. But generally, how did Arsenal play?
Yeah, their play could have been better. I saw a couple of
if they had done their business earlier enough in the season.
That's the thing, at the end of the day, you never can tell. I remember I said this some days back that sometimes looking forward, you can't connect the dots. You can only connect the dots looking backwards. I think Arteta will have some time to look over this past summer, this past transfer window, and see where he made those mistakes, because he did make some of those mistakes. Like I saw Arsenal waiting in this transfer window before making any incomings, and I was thinking, fine, there are not going to be too many incomings, but then they will keep the best of what they have. But then on deadline day, we saw about 3 sales and 3 exits, and that has left the squad depleted. If you look at that game today, you could have wished for an Nketiah to come in and change up the game. You could have wished for a Smith Rowe. You could have wished for a couple of other players that were not in the side. And then if you look at the players that did start, I was disappointed with the way that they considered that the equalizing goal. 1, 2, consider with the way that the yellow card issue with Declan Rice went down as well too. So, but I think it's what it is right now. To do that at home too is not nice. For me, Arsenal need to pick themselves up really fast before it gets worse, because it's looking like it could get worse.
Leave English. Wetin happen? We say wetin Brighton don't learn how to do, because they did it against Man United last weekend. We were talking about how the intensity they play at. They played with very high intensity, but I think Arsenal were matching them blow for blow in the first half. That's why it looked like the game was flat in the first half. But if you look at into the second half, into the 9 minutes of the game, like I said before, now I've always hampered of this point of Arsenal not having enough substitute bench to come in and change the game. I've said this before, I've said this multiple times, and people like Arsenal get enough squad. Look at the way they played. When you look at the 60th minutes of the game, they were getting tired. In the 50th minute, you see that the players are already getting tired. Mental physique was already getting into the players' head. Now, what did Brighton do? They started hammering on those lapses Arsenal were doing. They started making runs that caused Declan Rice to get a second yellow card in that game. After that, you saw that was a beautiful slotted in goal by Joao Pedro, knowing the right time to score, finding the better position. I think that's the next player I should be looking out for now, because he finds himself in the right positions at the right time to score goals. He did that against Man United. He's doing that against Arsenal now. To tell you that this is a player you have to look out for. Arsenal should have at least spotted those runs, but they didn't. In the first half, they missed some good chances, if you noticed. But people didn't talk about that.
It was an indiscipline. I won't call it. I don't know what Rice did, but that was just not a professional play, because he kicked the ball. That's why he got the second yellow. First look at what he was trying to win the ball, which is fair. You can try to miss the ball, you're trying to win it, but got a yellow card. As soon as the second half started, John, he kicking the ball away. Every professional player knows now that once you kick that ball away, you get a second yellow. I didn't know what happened with Rice, because Rice is an important player in this squad. Now he's going to be missing in the next game, and the next game is Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah, I think for a split second there, he lost his composure, and he wasn't thinking far already, not knowing, or would I say now, he knew, of course he knew he was in yellow card, but I don't think he wasn't expecting that type of reaction, that it would be a second yellow card. But then I think it's done now. It's a thing of the past right now. I think they need to go back and have a quick meeting with the team, with him and some other key players in the side. For me, the story about this game could have been rewritten if Saka had gotten in on that opportunity when he had the scare. He had the goalkeeper one-on-one and he couldn't bury it. Same thing for Havertz too. That opportunity, I was watching the opportunity and I was like, wow, you guys could have at least brought this game back with a goal in that circumstance, but it wasn't to be done.
Okay, if you look at Arsenal's character, they went that 10 men against Brighton. It's not an easy thing, but they defended well. They defended well and almost scored twice. Almost scored. Havertz got a one-on-one which the goalkeeper saved. Actually, Saka got another one-on-one which goalkeeper saved. If you look at Arsenal character, do you think that Arsenal has built a team that has character?
Character, it's yet to be seen. To be
I
honest,
disagree
it's
with
yet
that.
to be seen. You go down 10 man, you go down 1 man, and you're playing 10 against 11. It's a Brighton side. They were playing a high line. You could hit on the break. You could be composed defensively and hit on the break, and which is what Arsenal have done recently. Towards the end of that game, they were hoping that, okay, fine, since we don't have a box-to-box midfielder to defend and probably push the attack, let's defend and hit on the break, and which they did. But the character means you have to score your chances, which they've lacked so far. The number of chances they created in this game determines the number of chances they will bury going forward, and they don't have a striker to bury those chances. We're all singing praises of Kai Havertz scoring that goal, yes, and yet you look at the bench. Character is not about what you did in the second half because you're a man down. It's about what you would do at the long run. This is still game week 3. Let's see how game week 10 goes. If those characters will still be there, if those psychological fatigue will not affect the rest of the game.
Okay, if you look at it now, if you look at what Arsenal has built for the past 2 years, they have played well, they have built well. He's saying that he has not seen the character, but are you seeing that character?
I disagree with him because when the chips are down, when the chips are really, really down, like they were when we considered that red card and they equalized, character is showing how you respond when you take a blow you weren't expecting. You go 1 man down, you equalize, and these guys are pressing you. Arsenal defended well. They had a few scares here and there, but the players did not react like they did 2 seasons ago. 2 seasons ago, going a man down, losing a player, and then having an equalized, the opposition equalizing 2 seasons ago. You will see the players drop their performance. You will see them drop their guard. It will now be a runaway win with the opposition capitalizing on that 1 man down to score more goals. But Arsenal closed out this game for all their defensive frailties, which was expected because you saw the likes of Calafiori integrated into the match. For all their defensive frailties, you saw Saliba also marshalling the defense, trying to communicate with other people in the side to better protect the goalkeeper. And then Raya also showed up on the day when the squad was a man down. He showed up. He made those critical saves from Estupin. He made those critical saves from Pedro as well too. So he showed up as well. So character is them showing up irrespective of the way the game was panning out, having gone a man down and then these people equalizing. They didn't lose their guard. They didn't frown. They didn't go down. They kept up their match and they played the game 90 minutes. That's what I mean. That's what I mean by character.
It is when everybody has their own definition of what it is that Arsenal needs at this time. You lose 1 man in the game against a Brighton side that is playing a counter-attack. You're changing you see the substitution they're making. They're making substitute to bring in defenders. Why are you not looking to the bench? See, character means you have to have character is not about what you play when you get a red card. It's about the personnel you have on your team, on the bench, because you have someone to show up and shun up. And at this game, disagree all you want. In this game, you didn't see those personnel to come up on the bench to shun up and show up.
In the context you are talking
you're defending
about,
against now.
They showed character. In the context that you raised, they showed character.
For you, they showed character. For me, it's just the same Arsenal side trying to save
themselves
of a loss.
It may not be the same context.
They were defending very, very deep into their lines. So it was just we've lost 1 man. Let's just defend and get this win.
Okay, guys, depend how you want to see character. John here is saying that Arsenal showed character, but also disagrees. But it depends on how the coach wants to see it. But when I saw that game, I just felt that Arteta wanted to defend, not concede, and probably play on a counter because he introduced Martinelli that has space to bomb. But they tried. They got the 2 one-on-one chances twice, which they didn't bury. If probably they buried it, they probably would have won that game. Okay, let's see what Arsenal is going to be doing throughout the season. They are building. Sterling is here. All their new players are going to be coming after the international break. Hopefully, they will do well. See you guys next time.